Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, February 22. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is assuring public sector stakeholders that government will work to amicably resolve any issues that they may have with proposed pension scheme reforms. The reforms will, among other things, require government workers to contribute 5% of their salaries to their pension. It's a measure which trade unions argue should be paired with increases to cushion the effect of this deduction from workers' salaries. Mr. Holness says he's listening closely to the concerns and will be seeking cooperation on the issues.
And so the posture of the government will be to work towards resolution and not antagonism. When we're talking about the quality life in the future for our people who have worked very hard and ready to retire, it shouldn't be on the basis of antagonism and contention. There must be a cooperative posture to reach solutions for sustainability.
The Prime Minister was addressing Sagicor's pension investment seminar held at the Jamaica Conference Center on Tuesday. Bank of Jamaica Governor Brian Winter says several quarters of reduced borrowing by government has allowed more money to become available for private sector investment. This, he says, has allowed for a long overdue correction for stimulating economic growth.
Years and decades even of feeding an insatiable appetite for borrowing by the government and its agencies diverted the flow of financial resources from the private sector and made investment harder and made investment more costly. And this impeded growth in Jamaica. And we can now consider that the era of government crowding out has come to an end.
Mr. Winter was presenting the BOJ's quarterly monetary report for the October to December 2016 quarter on Tuesday. He reported that annual commercial bank credit to the private sector grew by 14.8% as at December 2016, which is stronger than the 9.6% growth of the previous year. The BOJ governor added that in real terms, loans grew by 12.8% in the last quarter of 2016 compared to 5.7% a year earlier.
This sustained increase in bank credit has supported the improved economic performance that we've seen in 8 consecutive quarters of expansion, with GDP growing at 1 to 2% in the December quarter.
Meanwhile, despite a slight uptick in January 2017's inflation rate, the Bank of Jamaica is forecasting that inflation will remain generally stable over the next fiscal year. The central bank's governor says data from Statin reflects 2.6% annual headline inflation at January 2017, which is higher than the 1.7% for December 2016, but less than the 3.7% recorded a year ago.
This uptick is entirely expected and presents no change to the current monetary conditions.
Mr. Winter says the sub-2% inflation rates experienced over the past few months were due to unusual fall in prices for the first 4 months of 2016, caused mainly by a recovery in the agriculture sector. With that activity leveling off, the BOJ is forecasting inflation to increase gradually to end this fiscal year below the target range of 4.5 to 6.5%. Over the next 4 quarters ahead, inflation should similarly track in the range of 4 to 6%.
As we are expecting price pressures to remain subdued at an average of, on a monthly basis now, of 0.4% each month. The forecast for that period is underpinned by oil prices that we expect to remain below $60 per barrel on average.
Meanwhile, for the 9th consecutive quarter, core inflation, which excludes agriculture and energy-related services, continued to trend downwards. Mr. Winter says the central bank remains poised to address any undesirable risks to inflation that may emerge. The Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, KSAC, has entered into a sister city agreement between Kingston and the city of Birmingham, Alabama in the United States. The official signing of the agreement took place on Wednesday at the KSAC's offices downtown. Both cities will work closely in a number of areas, including education, culture, public health, sport, commerce, and economic development.
The University of Alabama at Birmingham is a major medical research institution. We intend to benefit from that in terms of public health, training, expertise, and practice. The collaboration between both cities will be broad-based and meaningful. Kingston has a lot to offer in sports, in entertainment, in music, and other areas that I'm sure Birmingham will benefit from.
Our people deserve the best that we have to offer. And the best that we have to offer is to make sure that through our cultural interchanges, that we allow our people to see that we do have common bonds in our art, in our way of life, in our music. In many forms, we have that common bond.
And finally, Executive Director of Junior Achievement Jamaica, Alfie Mullins-Aking, is urging the nation's youth to take on careers that will help solve society's problems while creating wealth.
A lot of what Junior Achievement does is to help you to think about being entrepreneurs. So as we look into the future, we also need to think about how can we use our knowledge, skills, the education we have to actually create our own jobs.
Mrs. Mullins-Aking was speaking at a Career Youth Forum at the Planning Institute of Jamaica last week. The Youth Forum was a collaborative effort of Junior Achievement Jamaica and the Vision 2030 Jamaica Secretariat in observation of National Careers Week. It sought to gather the students' views on the Jamaica they want by 2030 and help them better understand their role in the fulfillment of the National Development Plan. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.